Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Ockwell-Smith and a belated Happy International Women's Day to you for yesterday. So in honour of that, I want to release a video today talking about how we can raise boys to respect girls and women as they grow into men in the future. Whenever anything happens in our society, so for instance the tragic Sarah Everard case, there were always discussions around how we can teach our girls or how to teach women to be safe. And then there's always a backlash that says, okay, so but how do we teach our boys or how do we teach our men to not make them in danger in the first place? And it's quite a common question that I've come across recently, which is, well, how do I raise my boy or boys to be respectful, and how do I raise them so that they're part of the solution, not the problem? So that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. So I have a few top ideas that, as usual with everything in parenting, a lot of this comes, or almost every part of it comes back to what we do and what we say. So the first thing I would suggest you do is that you grow a child with honouring your emotions and their emotions. So something that I call, or something that many people call, emo-diversity. Emo-diversity is the idea that all emotions are okay, nothing's bad, there isn't any emotion we shouldn't feel, we should kind of welcome them all and learn to regulate them. Now, unfortunately, for so many men in our generation, so grown adults, they were raised in an era where they were taught things like boys don't cry, or, be a brave soldier, you're strong. They were taught this bravery, this toxic masculinity, and they learnt that it somehow wasn't right in our society for them to let their feelings out. And we really need to raise our boys to do completely the opposite. We need to let them know that it's strong to cry, it's strength to share your emotions, and what you're feeling is never wrong. But also as parents, that we are there to support those emotions. So by that I mean, if your boy or your girl is really, really dysregulated and lots of crying and lots of shouting, what we need to do is to sit with them and help them to regulate those feelings and to support them. Unfortunately, what our society does is we'll sit them in time out or on the naughty step, or we'll tell them to go to their rooms until they've calmed down. And we raise a generation of really very angry teenage boys and angry men. So we need to avoid that. We need to realise that we need to support our boys and our girls with their feelings and not send them away from us as a punishment. We so often, even at school, isolations and exclusions. The more we isolate and exclude them, the less able they feel to share their emotions with us. Number two is we really need to teach them about respect. And again, older generations seem to think respect is something that should be demanded, or you scare a child into respecting you. And that's just not the case. The only way to raise a child who respects you is if you respect them. So what does that look like? It's, the sort of parenting I've just spoken about, the fact that it's okay that all emotions are welcome here, and I respect you just as you respect me. And actually, I want you to respect me as your elder, as your parent, because I do good things, because I inspire you, because I support you. Not because either one, you're scared of me because I punish you if you don't, or two, because I bribe you to through the use of rewards and sticker charts and stuff like that. So it's all about relationship building and growing that mutual respect, because when children learn, they feel respected, it helps their confidence and their esteem, and therefore their relationships with others as they get older are much more equal and based on respect. What else? We need to teach our boys to ask for help. So this goes back to the emo-diversity when they're struggling. We need to make them feel safe to do so. We need to show them that everybody, all boys, all men, have fragile emotions and need help. So a great thing to do here would be to share books, or to point out, like if they have a sporting idol, it's just you say, oh look, when they're crying or they're struggling. So it's so important when we have things like football, people like footballers speaking out and talking about mental health, but just having a share more about that, and also talking about your own mental health as well. We don't have to always be together around our children. We don't always have to be calm. We don't always have to be happy. It's okay that we can cry. It's okay that we're stressed. It's okay that we can share how we feel. And that's a huge part of my new book, How to Be a Calm Parent. If you want to learn more about how your own emotions impact on your children and how to handle your emotions and your triggers. What else can we do? Well, two more things. One, we need to embrace the idea of bodily consent, that our children are able to say no for certain things. And one of the most important things you can do here is with your boys and your girls, teach them that if they don't want to hug or kiss anybody, even if that's grandma or granddad, they don't have to, because it's their body and ultimately it's their say so whether somebody wants to kiss or hug them and they want to reciprocate. So teaching them from a very young age that they can say no. And when granny says, oh, give me a hug and a kiss, you don't force them to. You just say, oh, would you like to wave or do a high five or something instead? So when we teach them that their bodily consent matters, again, it helps them to respect the bodily consent of other people. And the final thing I want to talk about is calling out stereotypes and sexism as and when you see it. So we live in a world that is so rife with gender stereotypes and so much sexism, and our children are absolutely exposed to it. So think about the last time you went to a toy shop and there was a special boys section and a girls section, and the girls section was all pretty and pink and it was all about raising children and doing housework, and the boys section was all about having fun and adventure and sport and, you know, really cool things. It's really important that we raise that and we hopefully encourage them to look at the nurturing toys and the toys that sort of mean helping out around the house and knowing that housework isn't a woman's domain and raising children isn't just a woman's domain. It can, you know, boys are absolutely included in that as well. So look at the toy supply that you give them. Look at, you know, even things like Lego, when you look at Lego Friends and all the girly side of things, and then the boys get the really cool Lego. So really kind of ripping up and throwing those gender stereotypes out. And even it goes so far as clothing, like if you go into a high street shop and you look at the slogan t-shirts, the girls' t-shirts are all about sucking it up and being quiet. So be sweet, be kind, you know, these sorts of things. And the boys are like brave, adventurous, soldier, whatever, you know. And actually that has issues as well, because that goes back into the emo diversity and boys being brave and strong and fighting. But help them to see that little girls have opinions. Little girls should be listened to. Women have opinions. Women should be listened to. We shouldn't have to be quiet and suck up whatever our culture tells us to do. And teach your little boy to be a feminist as well. You don't have to be a female to be a feminist. You know, get them to understand from as early as possible. One of the best ways that you can do that is, if you're watching and you're a mother, help them to realise the difficulties you face on a daily basis in the world. And all of this combined has such a huge impact. There's no guarantees, but I'm pretty sure if you do all of this with your little boy, he's going to grow up to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Thanks for tuning in.